From a gold-plated Lamborghini to a 12-ton SUV taller than a house, these aren't car collections, they're obsessions pushed past the edge of reason. Most people collect cars. These people, they collect power, ego, and history on wheels. Today we're stepping inside the most bizarre car collections on Earth. Stick around for the wildest one yet, and don't forget to subscribe for more insane car stories. Floyd Mayweather doesn't just buy cars, he turns money into horsepower. Over 100 rides worth nearly $50 million, scattered across warehouses in Las Vegas and Miami like trophies in a vault. He's famous for paying in cash, not checks, not wires, duffel bags stacked with bills, dropped on a dealership floor. That's how he walked out with a $3 million Bugatti Veyron like it was pocket change. The highlights? The Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita, a $4.8 million unicorn woven with diamond dust carbon fiber, glowing like starlight. A Lamborghini Aventador, wrapped in pure gold, practically a mirror on wheels. And a Rolls-Royce fleet so big he could assign one to every day of the month. Mayweather's cars aren't just machines, they're megaphones screaming, "I can't be touched." But where Floyd's garage is about flexing, the next is about passion, a collection curated like a museum of what-if cars. Ken Lingenfelter isn't chasing flash, he's chasing rarity. His private collection tops 250 cars, displayed like relics in a personal museum. At its core, Corvettes, 150 of them. From early chrome bumper classics to experimental monsters. The crown jewel, a 1963 Corvette Grand Sport, worth $10 million, one of just 5 ever built. But it's what hides between the Corvettes that makes this garage bizarre. The GM Firebird 1, a turbine-powered prototype designed to look like a jet fighter. A bare carbon Ferrari F40, its body stripped raw so you can see its weave. And the Maserati 456 Venice Estate, a station wagon so strange and rare it feels like a mirage. Only 6 were ever made. Lingenfelter's collection isn't about ego. It's about protecting the oddities and prototypes most people will never see outside of a magazine. But if Ken treats cars like artifacts, the next collector treats them like experiments. He doesn't just preserve history, he drives it. Jay Leno's Big Dog Garage is a living time machine. 181 cars, 160 motorcycles, and unlike most collectors, he doesn't just look at them, he drives them. Steam cars from the early 1900s, like the Stanley Steamer, coughing their way down the street. The 1963 Chrysler turbine car, one of only 9 left, screaming like a jet engine. A Detroit Electric from 1914, proving EVs aren't as new as Tesla wants you to think. Then come the weirdos. The Bricklin SV1, a safety sports car with plastic panels. The AMC Pacer, mocked into cult fame. And the one-of-a-kind EcoJet, a concept Leno helped design, powered by an actual jet engine. Jay doesn't care if a car is a failure, a relic, or a billion-dollar masterpiece. His obsession is curiosity itself, feeding it, driving it, and keeping history alive by putting rubber to pavement. But if Leno embraces variety, the next collector crushes it under one obsession. Every masterpiece, every brand, all forced to kneel to his singular vision. Fashion mogul Ralph Lauren turned his Manhattan bunker into something stranger than a garage, a cathedral of crimson steel. Inside sit more than 60 of the rarest cars in the world. A 1938 Bugatti Atlantic, a Ferrari 250 GTO worth nearly $50 million, a once silver Mercedes SSK, all of them repainted in the same deep crimson red. Walking through his garage feels like stepping into an art gallery. Every curve, every line, every badge stripped of identity and reimagined as brushstrokes in Lauren's private palette. It's bizarre not because of what the cars are, but because of what he made them become. A fleet of icons transformed into a uniform army of crimson soldiers. For Ralph, collecting isn't about variety, it's about control. But if Ralph's cathedral is about control, the next collection is about the exact opposite. Scale so massive, it defies comprehension. Now, the Sultan of Brunei didn't collect cars, he conquered them all. At his peak, 7,000 cars, a value north of $5 billion. His garages are cities, endless rows of machines stretching into the distance. 600 Rolls-Royces, polished like jewels, 452 Ferraris, many of them one-offs built just for him. Bentleys turned into luxury SUVs decades before SUVs were popular. Then it gets stranger. The Bentley Buccaneer, half car, half speedboat. McLaren F1s with interiors stitched for royalty. Ferraris trimmed in prayer rugs. Even cars with deployable wings, as if he planned to take flight. But here's the kicker. Most of them were never driven. Thousands of engines never started, left to gather dust in climate-controlled silence. For the Sultan, cars weren't for joyrides. They were monuments to absolute power. But not every collection looks like a palace. Some look like chaos exploded inside a warehouse. In Graz, Austria, the Johann Punch Museum is what happens when history refuses to stay tidy. Over 600 cars and 2,500 artifacts jammed into a warehouse like a scrapyard of legends. A Pontiac Aztek sits beside a rally Volkswagen. Minivans freeze in time next to experimental military rigs. Bicycles dangle from the rafters like steel bats. Around every corner is something unexpected. A Chrysler Voyager with 0 miles, untouched since the 90s. A Mitsubishi Pajero armoured for combat. A Lancia Delta Integrale sagging quietly beside a green Audi Allroad. It doesn't feel curated, it feels discovered. A place where chaos tells its own bizarre story. But if chaos has limits, the final collection obliterates them. This isn't a garage, it's a carnival. Sheikh Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan, better known as the Rainbow Sheikh, doesn't just collect cars, he reinvents them as spectacles. His centerpiece? The world's largest SUV. 16 feet tall, 12 tons heavy, tires taller than most men. It looks like a monster truck built for giants. But that's just the start. A fleet of 7 rainbow-colored Mercedes S-Classes, one for each day of the week. A Mercedes sedan strapped onto monster truck wheels. A Land Rover scaled up until it's the size of a bus. His Abu Dhabi museum feels less like a garage and more like a theme park. Cars aren't displayed, they're staged, performed, exploded into excess so wild it feels like stepping into a toy box for billionaires. For the Rainbow Sheikh, practicality doesn't exist, only spectacle. So, which collection takes the crown as the most bizarre? Drop your pick in the comments. These aren't garages, they're mirrors, reflecting ego, obsession, and imagination with no boundaries. And if you thought this was wild, wait until you see what a world-famous rapper keeps in his garage. That's next.